First question actually is, would you babysit my devil children sometime and read those stories to them?
Just in regards to those stories, I don't know how many people here were raised with the fairy tales of Hans Christian Andersen, but he makes me look sane. The fairy tales that we were raised with as little children were The Little Match Girl, which is about a homeless, tiny little girl living on the street selling matches, and it's freezing. And as she starts to freeze to death, she starts to light her matches, which are her only product for sale in a capitalist cake society. And with the first match, she envisions she's like in a beautiful feast, and with the second match, she envisions that she's some other beautiful warm place, and suddenly she lights the entire box of matches, and for a moment she's warm and happy, and then she has no matches and she freezes to death and dies. And the other story is about the tin soldier and the paper ballerina. And at the end, they were madly, deeply in love until the paper ballerina fell into the stove and burned up. And the heat of the stove melted the tin soldier into a lump of lead. And the other story, which was my favorite, was about a statue of a noble prince in the middle of the prince's imperial city. And the statue was covered with gold. And it had ruby lips, and it had emerald eyes. It was the most beautiful statue ever. And winter was coming, and there was this little sparrow that lived on the statue. And it was time for the sparrow to go south. And the statue said, "Little sparrow, please help me. Winter's coming. And my people are hungry, and they're cold, they're starving. So before you leave, before you go south, I need you to pull off my ruby lips and give them to the poor of my kingdom." And the little sparrow says, "Pull off your lips? Who do you think I am, Angelina Jolie?" But it pulls off the lips of this statue and it gives them to the poor. And it's about to take off for the south, and the statue says, no, wait. I see some more poor, hungry people out there. I need you to rip out my emerald eyes. And the sparrow says, okay. And rips out the statue's eyes and takes them to the poor. And by then it's snowing and it's really cold. And the little sparrow is freezing, and it says, okay, see you next year. And the statue says, no, wait. There's still poor people in my kingdom. I need you to rip off all of my gold skin and give it to the poor. And the little sparrow rips off all the gold leaf from the statue and takes it flake by flake to the poor. And then the sparrow freezes to death and dies at the foot of this ugly, corroded statue. And the people look up and they say, God, that statue looks crappy. And they rip it down and they melt it and they make cannons out of it at the end. And that's what passed for a happy ending in my childhood. So,
seriously, do you babysit ever? I mean, really, that kind of instruction. Actually, I do want to start with a question that may be a little dry and academic, so forgive me in advance. But Chuck, could you demonstrate the giant flying stork death kick?
Not on your life.
Do it.
All of those are just completely made up because, again, and it was odd because it was that same German class my freshman year in college. We had to meet 5 days a week for 2 or 3